don't underestimate what it takes. So be realistic and know what to look for, just as Jaryd says. You can be creative about it.
Yeah. Jaryd Krause invested his way out of the plumbing job he hated by starting to acquiring online businesses and scaling them. And now he's the world-leading expert in buying and selling business online, and he also has a YouTube channel, which is Buying and Selling Businesses Online podcast. So I recommend that one.
For sure.
And we have Jaryd here on the show today, and he's gonna give you a 5-step checklist that you can use when you want to buy online businesses. So, this is the checklist you need to get the money you want. And we also have you. Hi, Kat.
Hi.
And she's also gonna give her expertise advice in this. So, welcome to the show, Jaryd, and let's kick it off.
Awesome, Ida. Thank you so much, guys, for having me on. Let's talk about how to choose an online business to buy to get a passive income. Now, yes, there's a 5-step checklist, like we mentioned. The first thing you need to do on the checklist is work out what your financial and lifestyle goals are. So you don't want to go away and buy yourself a job, right? A lot of people do this when they're looking for a business, and the businesses they're looking at are taking them so much time to run. Most people I work with, they're looking for a better lifestyle, and they want to buy themselves an income that can allow them to spend more time doing what they love with the people they love. So they want to find a business that doesn't have too many hours attached to it, and they also want to know what sort of work they would be doing if they own the business. So you get to choose, do I want to be doing those tasks with my life or not? So that's first, buy something that fits in with the lifestyle that you want to live. Do you want to live location independent and travel around the world? That's what I do. That's what a lot of my clients want. So that's lifestyle goals. And then the financial goal part is how much do you want to be making per month? And that will determine what size business you'll buy.
Thank you so much for that one. Kat, what do you have to say about that?
Well, agree. And in particular, don't underestimate what it takes. So it might sound so rosy and shimmery and easy from the beginning, and a lot of things can be done online. But do expect that if it's a medium to small type of business, there will be work that you have to do. And you will need to be on top of things, in particular if the ones selling the company being very operative. Because then the competence goes away and you or somebody else needs to step in. So be realistic and know what to look for, just as Jaryd says.
That's brilliant. So let's move on to step number 2. And what is that?
But also step number 2 is to get your finances ready. And you need to work out how much money and cash you have to go away and either acquire this business with all cash, or if you are going to be buying with finance, then you need to go away and speak to some finance brokers and work out how much money you can finance to be able to go away and buy that type of business. And that will give you the price range that you can buy in either net, you might be using net profit or EBITDA or SDE, seller's discretionary earnings. So that's step number 2, is just get your finances ready.
Get your finances ready, Kat.
Yeah, and remember that you can be creative about it.
Yeah.
So perhaps you can't pay up front what they want from the business. Let's say you found something and they want $250 US for it. You cannot come up with that money. Perhaps you can do an earnout. So you pay only 50 up front. And then based on what the revenue is or EBITDA that the company has the following years, you pay the rest of the sum. Or you can pay it in tranches. So you have a decided price, but you don't pay everything up front. You pay it in portions. Or you can have a vendor note, which actually is a loan from the seller to the buyer. So know that it's not only that you have to cash everything up at front, but you can be creative about it so you can afford that really good, that attractive online business that you want.
Amazing. So that was get your finances ready as step number 2. And let's head on to step number 3. What is that, Jaryd?
Thirdly, you'll be looking at choosing the business model. Now, the business model is going to be determined, yes, on what sort of lifestyle goals you have, but also the financial goals and the finance you can afford to buy. But you also get to be very creative with the business model. There's a bunch of different business models. You have e-commerce, and there's variations of e-commerce business models. You can do self-product distribution and direct to consumer. You can do drop shipping, or you can do 3PL, which is like Amazon FBA, where and I won't get into the business models too much, but that's where you buy the product in bulk, you ship it to a third-party logistic company, and they send it out to the customers for you once they purchase from you. Then you have the media businesses. These can be blogs, like content websites, news websites. They can be YouTube channels. They can also be Facebook pages, Instagram accounts, newsletters, anything that's a media channel and makes money through sponsorships or advertising, and maybe even they sell some of their own products as well. And then you have software businesses, recurring revenue businesses. So software as a service and or recurring revenue business like monthly training for guitar lessons or singing or something like that. So you want to choose the business models right for you. And some of them are more passive and some of them are less passive. The ones that are typically more passive have a higher multiple, and they typically have less risk if they have a higher multiple. So that's where you go into choosing the right business model.
So that was choose the business model. Kat.
Yeah. And I could not agree more. This is gold, and I recommend you to check out Jaryd's channel to deep dive into the business model you're considering. Because in particular, like he says, what's the risk? You have to sit on inventory. You have to pay up front. Or like drop shipping. Is that another risk for you, right? Or perhaps in that case, you're exposed to tariffs and trade wars instead. So assess what risk comes with the business model and the profitability. Is it very stable or is it volatile, right? Perhaps the weather, is it selling ice cream? The weather will affect it, etc. So make sure you know that and know the working capital. Perhaps you have to fund the business ongoingly because you need a lot of inventory or something like that. So this is gold.
This is gold. Thank you. And let's move on to step number 4, Jaryd. Bring it on.
Fourthly, step number 4 is to find these businesses. Where do you go? You need to look at brokers. Okay, so there's a bunch of different brokers. You can look at flipper.com. You can look at empireflippers.com. You can look at websiteclosers.com. You can look at websiteproperties.com. You can also look at quietlight.com. FEinternational.com do software businesses as well. This is a lot. On my website, I list a bunch of different brokers you can go check out, or just Google online business brokers. You can also go to different groups like Facebook groups, WhatsApp groups, Facebook chat groups for like M&A advisory and businesses, M&A deal flow and things like that.
So step number 4, look at brokers groups. I mean, it's a jungle out there.
It is. And one way to assess whether it's a good business or not, say for looking at the business model and look at the current financial reporting, will also be to try to understand why are they selling. Because sometimes you might, through those Facebook groups, find gold. It might be because a couple is separated, or somebody's they're going to retire, it's very profitable. Or it's because they never really got the business to fly and they don't expect it to do so well. So try to understand where you're looking, and if they're trying to sell it and push it on these marketplaces, why?
That's a really good one. You heard it from the lawyer. And let's move on to the last step. Jaryd, bring it on for us.
Now, the last step is one of the most important steps, or probably the most important step, is doing your due diligence. You need to know how to do due diligence. Teach yourself. If you're buying a business in a lower price range, typically you're going to do it yourself because you won't be able to afford due diligence for how much the business is that you're looking at purchasing. But 500K plus businesses, you can go away and hire someone to do your due diligence. But you also want an advisor to go away and go through that due diligence with you and share with you, like, this is accurate, this is the risk, these are the opportunities, this is what you'd be taking on, is it worth it, and help you with the true valuation of it as well. So doing your due diligence is absolutely critical. It's what my whole business is built on and what I do.
So, I mean, due diligence, we heard it 100 times with you here, Kat.
Hallelujah.
It's the hallelujah moment.
Thank you, Jaryd. I agree.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, we have a comprehensive episode about due diligence. And what it is It's investigating the company before you buy it.
Important.
Because if there are legal risks or financial risks and you take over that company,
Yeah.
it's in your hands. You're responsible. Let's say they have some employee suing them, or they haven't conducted their GDPR correctly, so they haven't handled data information about private persons correctly.
Yeah.
That can cost immensely, and it will cost you. So make sure to know if there's anything funny, or the contracts might not hold up. So the value of the company might be completely bloated. So investigate the company, do the due diligence before you buy it. So you're sure, because you're taking over everything, the good and the bad.
Yes. So you heard that, the due diligence. Thanks for that. And Jaryd?
Amazing, guys. Thank you so much for having me on. Really do appreciate you. And yeah, looking forward to maybe helping more in the future if you like.
Well, thank you so much, Jaryd, for sharing your expertise, and Kat, from your perspectives as well as a business lawyer.
This is gold. Check out Jaryd's channel. We're so happy to have you.
Yeah.
Take this to heart. Buying an online business can be the best decision of your life if you do it right.
Yes. So watch his channel. We're going to drop all the links down below.
And this is not.
It's not legal advice. It's knowledge sharing as always. Thank you so much. And bye, Jaryd. Hey, Doa.
That's it, guys. That's your 5-step checklist. If you guys are interested, I have a whole YouTube channel and a podcast on this called Buying Online Businesses that goes into a lot more at absolute length. Also, for businesses between the $10,000 to the $500K acquisition range, I teach people at length on how to do this with courses and coaching programs and stuff like that on buyingonlinebusiness.com. Or if you're just looking for someone to do it for you, for businesses from 500,000 up to 50 million, I do this for investors where I give them access to finance brokers, great lawyers like Katarina, and then I go away, I find the business for them, typically off market, and then I advise them on structures, negotiations, how to value the business at the right price, get it for the right price for them, and get the deal done. And if you want some help with that sort of stuff, you can just reach out and speak to me on LinkedIn.